Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Airy Sky Riddley's video blog. I'm Airy Sky. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? So, I knew this video was going to be done. It's been randomly started because I know sometimes Miss Wilson's on at this time of night, so I thought I'd give Miss Wilson a chance if she is on. I got 56 spreadsheets to total up. I took a nap, so couple of updates for you all. You guys, Miss Wilson probably is not well aware, or the rest, but I just want to sit down and tell you a story. So, as I was getting ready to go to bed, um, I was watching Victoria, several episodes, and I fell asleep. My father-in-law thought I was delayed. And I apologize. He says, "Well, yeah, you had to be up early for the research. And you had to be up for it's understandable that you're tired." And so, anyway, so what happened was he turned around and accepted my apology. And I told him literally how tired I was. I told him, "Dad, I'm tired." I said, "Dad, I'm literally was tired." Anyways, I fell asleep. I mean, I had 3 hours. I was like exhausted. I had to deal with Chloe's temper, and I had to deal with trying to figure out what was going on with the neighbor, or not the neighbor, the the what do you call it? The neighbor, So the neighbor, turned around, or not neighbor, the Chloe's ex roommate, Cactus. She's been commenting on the one video, trying to watch him and answer and watch him. And to me, I'm like, it's how do I say it? It's not worth it. To just go keep replying comment after comment, like, "Oh, this person's this." She's answering an email, that I posted. The thing is, Chloe's already in trouble. I mean, literally. So basically, what's happened? Okay, I'll tell you what happened. A lot of people say, "Oh, Chloe's getting." The thing is, Chloe's gonna get out of it. All right. First of all, she antagonized the neighbor or the her ex roommate. Keep calling Sister Cactus Blossom a neighbor. Your friend is your neighbor. The Bible says. I'm a minister. So Chloe basically turns around, and writes this nasty email. And Pee Wee, of course, I love Pee Wee. For some of you out there, Pee Wee emailed me the cutest answer. I have to reply to her emails later. She bought me a teapot, and she said she never got herself a teapot in her life, but she said she drew the line on the teacups. Thing is the teapot's cool by itself. So apparently, I'm going to be making tea soon. I got a tray somewhere. I'm gonna have Chloe find my damn tray. She keeps misplacing everything. I had this metal tray that I used to use for coffee, but apparently Chloe decided to steal it or something. I mean, every time I misplace it, I mean, what happened to my tray? I mean, literally, Chloe should be like, "Oh yes, I know where it is." Instead, she just goes and hides it, with everything else. I had this like beautiful silver platter, a silver tray, and it was gorgeous, and yet Chloe But anyway, so Chloe's roommate, ex-roommate, messaged me, right? Sweet girl, by the way, sweetheart. And we were talking about Chloe's predicament, okay? So Chloe goes ahead and verbally attacks her her ex-roommate and ex-roommate's friend. Ex-roommate's friend said, if you don't stop, I'll take action. So Chloe says, okay, I'll block her. Block him, this guy, who claims to be a woman. I'm not getting involved in it. Baby sister Cactus knows I'm taking no sides. I feel like I can't take sides. I got her side and I got Chloe's side, and there's always going to be conflict, so I'm not taking sides, okay? So anyway, so then Cactus turns around and does the same thing. Do not contact me, yada, yada, yada. But Cactus decides to go ahead and send it off to Advocate Courtney and Secret Advocate Lori. Now, Secret Advocate Lori's the APS agent. She sees that she's going to see her last name moderated and changed. So basically what happens? Nothing. Courtney, on the other hand, has whatever. So basically, I was trying to tell baby sister Cactus that there's a 20% chance. I mean, literally a percentage is going down. So first of all, you turn around, right? And then you sit there and say, oh, well, this happened and that happened and this happened. Let me just tell you what happened, okay? So what happens is, first Chloe made those threats, right? You got to analyze and deduce, right? And to deduce what Tara's going to do, first Tara did, Cactus, the little sister did. Let me just basically say it this way so everyone's on the same page. Little sister does. So little sister decides, okay, I'll write a reply first before I press issues. Then she turns around and she decides to report it, right? First of all, the law states you have to report it within 4 hours, right? Or the case gets weakened. Trust me, I know this very well. It's basically, as Tara J would say jokingly, your case has been tainted. And I know baby sister would understand the joke too. It's just once in a while I say it. So basically what happened is they turned around and the law won't do anything. Now, I know Sister Tara J, I think, would be frustrated about now, not on my part, but how this has played out over the years. And after 4 years watching my previous videos, I'm frustrated too. I'm actually at wit's end. I do my advocate today when I'm out. And they're basically working on something. But in the meantime, I have to basically be patient. And both of them said be civil. And my advocate, Melissa, says, how do you become so civil when Chloe's the problem, right? I even send her the messages. Just send them. I have copies, but you think I'm sending it to Advocate Courtney? No. Little sister did that already. So here's how I deduced it. First of all, if she calls up the county sheriff here, the non-emergency number, spends 5 minutes telling the story. They know who Chloe is, by the way. They would turn around and they would say, oh, it's Chloe again. What happens? Nothing. Why wasn't it happening? Because, and you could sit there and say, well, it should have been done, right? Well, so you take 100%. You look at the timestamp, 4 hours. That cuts it down to 50% after 4 hours. Then you turn around. And then what's next? You can sit there and say, oh, well, nothing's next. There is a next. You guys should pay attention to the next. Because I love when I say this. And that is, you deduce. You sit there and you deduce. You say, oh, well, Chloe wouldn't do that. Chloe won't do that. Chloe won't do that. And yet, you deduce it. San Juan County, where I live, as Miss Wilson knows and everyone else, not going to do anything. Why? Tell you why. Because, first of all, someone threatens someone else out of state, you got to report it in your state for the paperwork, for the signature and everything. So it goes back to little sister's court. Little sister says, oh, well, I still can file here. Here, she calls and gets it. Officer contacts, and officer says, well, you can block and ban them. Chloe, little sister's done that probably. You can file an out-of-state restraining order. Mind you, out-of-state restraining order costs money. Costs money. Mind you, costs money, right? Meanwhile, our state, it's crumbled. Then if little sister's friend decides to file another case, it's more money for an out-of-state restraining order. I said, let it go. She turns around and says, oh, well, I can file this and I can do that, right? If you have the if you have been told by an officer, out-of-state restraining order, block and ban them. I told little sis this already. I said, little sis, little cactus, block and ban them, move on. Thing is right now it is too much time. And you could sit there and say, well, what do you mean? Simple. Think of what's going on in the world. Little sis, I told her they're not going to do anything. The percentage has went from 100% in 4 hours to 50%. Then from 50%, it dropped to 20% because little sis Cactus didn't report it in time. And two is, she'd be paying a shit ton of money for an out-of-state restraining order. She can make it happen. Thing is that she'd have to file for an in-state restraining order. In-state. Which means she'd either have to come up here, which is, or go through the local place like my advocates agencies. Meanwhile, the 20% holdout on Chloe getting away with this scot-free is simple. Well, I'll tell you what it is. Now, you guys can sit there and say, oh, well, Chloe shouldn't have gotten away scot-free. Well, let me put it this way so we're all on the same page. The get out of free Chloe card is because Chloe's a criminal mastermind. Instead of using Lori's legal name, she used, a code name. And when I told this to little baby sister Cactus, who I love dearly as a sister, realized that it's like, hold on a sec, I gotta close this and open this up again. I think I screwed up for once. Yeah, I did. There we go. I fixed it. See, I know what I'm doing. So basically, so the percentage is that now apparently baby sister sent this out. So my bottom line is I think that she's going to see that unless the APS lady gets back to her, well, the APS doesn't have a case open for me. So what's she going to do? Report it to the sheriff? That's a 10% chance. You could say, how is it 10%? Because basically it just says Lori and then code name, and that's it. So, will Chloe do anything? No. Then you say to me, oh, well, what about Chloe's temper? And again, the APS lady is more likely going to sweep it under the rug. And before you say, oh, well, why would she do that? Because she can. That's the thing, because she can't. She doesn't give two shits, okay? Now that leaves Advocate Courtney. Will Courtney see anything? Courtney already knows Chloe calls her name. Courtney doesn't know why I'm in contact with her. Well, I'm protecting Courtney. But all the evidence I've left in my cousin Dinky's book was for a reason, just in case something happens to me or to my advocates, hypothetically. The evidence was in the evidence was in the evidence was literally in my journal and my letters to Dinky. Now, if Dinky destroyed the letters, well, then there's no proof. But I don't plan to, my main thing is we have a crisis, and Chloe likes crises, and Chloe's testing the limits, and I'm tired of this crap. I mean, literally. The only thing I can do is get it, then I'll have to get one, a restraining order. But I don't, the management thinks that Chloe's mentally ill and needs help. But Sister Melissa was briefed. I should email Melissa pictures. And as a mandated reporter, she turned around and said, it's been reported. Well, yes, she reported it herself to them, but the thing is, there's nothing that can be done. My hands are tied, that's why I told little sis, cactus sis, that there's nothing that can be done, because there isn't. If you sit around and you say, oh, well, I mean, look at the big picture, right? Big picture, 20%. Well, and I basically turned around, right? And I was talking to Dad on the phone. And Dad said to me, I've been thinking about this Chloe problem. And I said, yes. And he says, about Chloe's ex-roommate. And I said, yes. How's, the thing is, Pee Wee said, oh, they instigated it. I'll tell you the whole story. Chloe was put on a bus and ended up in homeless in San Diego for 3 months because her roommate wanted her out, put her on a bus. Chloe went. Got her off the lease that way and stuff. 3 months. So if you look at it, the only thing little sister should regret, is opening that wound. Now, I know baby sister is going to explain it, email me and ask me to explain it. I'll explain it right now. Basically, Chloe might have been abused as a child. I ended up with borderline that way, but it got worse as she was transitioning and no one accepted 6 foot tall trans woman. And yet, only way for baby sister Cactus to get rid of her is put her on a bus and let her be home with San Diego. Fine and dandy. But she finally got home after selling her body enough, feeling dirty and grungy and being a whore. But here's the kicker. Chloe never forgot who made her homeless. But in some ways, Chloe did it herself because she wasn't earning to keep eating all little sister Cactus's food and damaging the apartment and yelling and screaming and dictating like she does here. Fortunately, Cactus thought she got rid of her. Instead, all that resentment, all that anger built up to Chloe not wanting to own up the fact that she caused her own firing. And because of it, she's basically angry. I mean, look at it this way. I went for surgery 4 years ago plus. Chloe's attitude towards me with surgery was that this is my trip, I have to feed her. If you didn't know. And then, thinking Chloe's mentally ill, she needs some extra protections and me accepting it, but I'm not accepting her abuse. Literally. And yet, she's got 3 options, right? Option 1, the APS lady. The APS lady is going to look at it, read it, look at it, and say, oh, this is from a third party. Even though Rita didn't warn me, it's a third party. Then if she does get in touch with me, I'll be like, yeah. The thing is if they ever contact me, the answer I'm going to give is simple. That I'm going to give the simple answer, and that is I'm doing nothing. You know why you don't do nothing, everyone? I'll tell you why. Because you can't win. Literally, let me put it to you this way, okay? Because I know Pee-wee will watch this video later. She was napping. I slept. I'm doing these spreadsheets now since I want to get this out of the way and go back to my TV show. And say I did something creative today, which is talk to you guys. But let me put it this way. I'm doing nothing. I'm saying nothing. The sheriff's been reported so many damn times, they can't do anything, okay? Chloe does something, they can involuntary her. They won't. She's not a threat. Even the the DCR, or the designated crisis responder, knows it's all a joke. Chloe calls her and says, oh, I need help. And he says, go to the hospital. She says, fuck you, and hangs up. That's it. And then he says it's a joke. Why does you think no one wants help? And because she's on Medicare, she doesn't get mental. Pee-wee doesn't know that Medicare doesn't cover mental unless you're in a hospital setting. And then you are only hospitalized if you're suicidal. So if Chloe turns around and uses I'm suicidal to get in there, and then she's not suicidal, they'll do like the last time. She refused to give them her medical records, and they threw her out 3 days later, saying she's fine. She used the system, and then she came home. That was it. It was the last time she was in a hospital. So, you do the math. And so you report it, the sheriff comes out and they say Chloe's not going to do it because she has no plan. Again, back to square one. So the sheriff shows up. I'll be just like, well, you know what? I would have reported it, but I left all the information with my cousin Dinky in my journals, where she has copies of my journals and my letters of what Chloe's saying. Her attitude, say nothing. They'll ask why. I'll be like, because you guys don't want to listen anyway when I report it, so fuck it. If it is against one or two town members, it doesn't matter to me because they won't do anything anyways. It just causes too much trouble. And trouble is something I don't want. There's other ways around to get Chloe out of here, and it ain't going to be basically reporting her ass to the fucking police. It doesn't work. So, that leaves 20%. Where's the 20%? 20% is APS lady. She's just going to sweep it under the rug. I think little sister knows this now. And Courtney might email little sister for some more clarification, but that's it. Then what? Nothing. Thing is, Chloe's against the APS lady for investigating because Chloe knows she's been committing theft. But she knows she got away with it, so to her, she hates the APS lady doing her job. But, there's nothing we can do. So, what happens? You sit there and say, oh, well, nothing happens. See? So, there goes the 20%. Then, you got the final 0%. Right? Now, you're going to say, well, what else did the Arizona Police Department say? Simple. They told her if she wants to do it, to file with cyberbullying at the FBI website. But the FBI will look into it, see she's got mental illness, and close their case within 5 minutes. Literally, they're going to look at that. Even little sister Cactus knows she's got to have the Secret Service on her door and stuff. That tells you right there she's mentally ill. They won't investigate. They're just going to tell Cactus, the DOJ is going to tell her, ban and block her. Because it's not worth trying to prosecute someone who's mentally ill. Now, if she goes and burns down a grocery store or something, that's when they can prosecute her. But these are like petty crimes that they don't want to prosecute. It's more like a thought crime, And that is where things are going. Plain and simple. Think of it that way. I mean, literally, there's no way baby sister can even win. I told her this. I said, you try. I told her it'll be an uphill battle because A, Chloe's transgender, and B, you can't touch her. And I was sleeping, so when she did message me, she was like, oh, they did get back to me, and they recommended this, this, and this. It would cost baby sister money that she probably doesn't have. To go and file charges or try to validate it. I mean, literally, let me put it this way. Chloe's been doing this shit for 5 years. All she's tried to do is I've disarmed her once for trying to kill the neighbor in our old place. And that's about it. What are you going to do about it, huh? Nothing. You're not going to do shit about it. They won't. Even Sister Dinky said it's not worth it. It's not worth them investigating. It's a waste of resources. They got to do resources on people that own guns, that want to go and kill people like in the Buffalo shooting. They're not going to waste their time on something like Chloe. Because to them, Chloe's too small of a fish to fry. I know if Sister Cactus watches this on our way to work, part of it, and watches it off and on, she'll understand what I'm talking about. I warned her. I said, you're basically, I said it could work, but highly unlikely. Well, I think she knows my doubts, Now, because Sister Cactus sent this to the APS lady and the by email and the restraining order advocate, domestic violence advocate. There's nothing that can be done. It's third party. Third party's warning them. That's it. It's a third party warning. So unless the domestic violence advocate or the APS lady has something in their back pocket, they're not going to basically be able to touch Chloe. They know this. Now, she can recommend it out-of-state restraining order, but it has to be issued in this county. And because she'd have to go to court, that's time off. Do you think baby sis is going to do time off? No. Her best bet is to block and move on. Same with Belle. There's not a damn thing they can do about it. I mean, literally. I mean, some of my videos went private because of Chloe's outbursts and stuff, but they're still there. So, to me, it's 20% chance. Thing is, you wait. She could email me even or call me. Advocate asks me about it, I'll be like, yeah, I tried warning you several months ago, and weeks ago, and a month ago, but you never called me back. I even told Melissa and Ashley about it. They said to report it. I tried reporting it to you. You never got back to me, so I said, fuck it. I'll stay quiet. Why? Because, frankly, there's nothing that can be done. Literally. I mean, it's coming from a third party. A third party that's literally staying around and saying, a third party. Now, after this spreadsheet, I'm going to have to run to the restroom real quick. So don't worry about me. I will be back. But I'm already on L's, so we're speeding this along tonight. Which means we're getting it done faster tonight than, anything. And I'm actually staying on topic. So, thing is, unless the government decides to do something, it's impossible. So, watch the bunny. I'll be right back. All right, everyone. I am back. So, I wonder who's watching me. I know it ain't me because I'm not the one watching myself. So, anyways, like I said, I had to use the bathroom. Please excuse me for a second. With it done, I can continue doing this and move down the list. But like I said, everyone has their own thoughts, and like I said, it's third party. So even if it's coming from a third party, and they actually get all the information from Chloe, they still have to do so much research that it could be in the third party's best interest to be Photoshop, whatever Chloe said. So even though I would have just thrown an email in the trash and let it go, but that's just me because frankly, I know, the law. I mean, literally, the law has basically been really lax for Chloe, and the mental health system here is lax too. So as long as Chloe basically is lax, there's not a damn thing Chloe can do about the mental health system can do about it. And that's the damn truth, I mean, look, 4 years ago, Chloe put a knife to her throat. She didn't get mentally help. They didn't help her. And that's when things started to drift with my moderators, my older moderators at the time. They couldn't, I think it was like Tara J couldn't believe that the law wouldn't touch Chloe. And Chloe got away with a lot. And still did. Then shit hit the fan, and Chloe got away with more. So if you look at the big picture, now that's the way it is, Mental health systems, when Congress and the Senate talk about we need to fix the mental health system, we do. But the problem is it comes down to money. The poorer you are, the more likely they're just going to look the other way because you're some poor schlub that basically is mentally ill. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And what happens? Nothing. So, tomorrow I got to write down the totals on a notebook and put them in the right documents and then total those up. It'll be fast and efficient. So you'll have a video tomorrow too, by the way. Won't take me too long. And you'll get an update anyways, up to 5:30 anyways. So tomorrow's Friday. I figured that we can all see what happens tomorrow because the ball's in two people's courts and little sister cactuses. Otherwise, I'm just sitting back waiting patiently to see if my theory comes out to be true that it is downright useless. You know. And so that's all she wrote, you know. And by the way, I'm on P's. So P through Z, that's all that's left. I'm not speeding along, so. But yeah, I thought I'd give you guys an update. That's my theories and thoughts. Hopefully, Pee Wee watches this in the morning, gives her opinion. Hopefully, you guys comment because I'd like to hear your guys' opinion. Same with Miss Debbie. Because I'd really like to hear what they got to say about it, you know. Because it is what it is, you know. And it's sad, you know. But, you know, it's what it is. I need to call Chris one of these days, see what he had to say, anyways. It's just been so damn busy with no StreamYards, you know. It's like if I'm doing StreamYards, people should at least want to pay for it, help pay for it. I don't want to do StreamYards and pay for it myself because it's not worth it, you know. Because it's not fair to me to pay $25 for other people to use the services unless I agree, and I don't agree. I'd be like, you know. And as you can see, I'm just like zipping along. And by the way, I do support LibreOffice. Good company, by the way, that make free office templates. And once I'm done, I can relax. I'm gonna make me a cup of tea. And watch Victoria. I'm still finishing up season 2, episode 3. Which isn't a bad show, but once I'm done with Victoria, I'm stuck with watching something else. Crown season 5 ain't out yet. Now I'm on S's. So yeah, moving along, I tell you, peeps. But yeah, no comments tonight. It's been a blessing because I don't have to stop, and but if there was comments, I would answer. It's just there's no comments. So Chloe's all paranoid, and I'm like, look, you got 20% chance left. Because she's like, oh, what is it? She knows what's coming down the pipe. She's not stupid. But it ain't gonna change her anyway. She'll just do something more dangerous and reckless because of her borderline. And like they say, same shit, different day. S is pretty big, so that's why I'm just like zipping along. Last time it took me like an hour and 10 minutes total talking. This time I don't know what the timer is. I'll go look in a second. But you know me, I'm just trying to get this done. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So 12 spreadsheets left total. That's it. Not bad in my opinion. So we have 51 minutes. Yeah, I guess it'll take an hour again. That was with bathroom break, so I can't complain. But you know what? That would mean 56 are done. So I just want to get this done so I can go watch Victoria and have a cup of tea. I guess in my old age, I'm just like, whatever. I'm on use, see? But yeah, anyways, it's just, as you can see, I do my stuff at night, so I don't have to deal with Chloe, you know. Because I frankly, as I told the manager today, I sleep days, so I don't have to freaking deal with Chloe. You know. That's my peace. However, I told Chloe when it got warmer, I was going to take Moppy out for a walk. Currently, it's 39. Can you believe that's 39 fucking degrees here in May? I mean, literally, 39 fucking degrees. I'd have to fucking wear my coat. And I, frankly, don't want to freaking freeze, you know? I mean, it's been like, it only got to 60 once in May. The rest of the time, it's freaking cold as hell. I mean, in the winter time, summertime, it's like in the 70s, maybe 80s, but here, you know what I mean? Well, relax, you know, and have a cup of tea. Next is up is W soon. You know, but still cold. I want to get some extra exercise, you know, so I was running on my treadmill, which will probably be after my tea. You don't run it on a treadmill after you have caffeine. That's the one thing you don't do. Five spreadsheets left to tell you the total. Tomorrow will be totaling up, what, 2 spreadsheets? I'll write it down on paper. I mean, literally, that's all it is. Damn it, I basically said totals. There's a thing, it's called subtotals. And, you know, I used MS Works a long time ago. I fell in love with it. And then when they stopped giving new computers with MS Works and then they started giving Office Starter, that was cool too. But I always downloaded Libre because I found Libre to be really a good program, you know. Easy to work and calibrated for my needs and free. And then what I do is once I total it, I save it in the right folder because I have multiple copies of this. Now there's 3 spreadsheets to open. See, it doesn't take that long once you do the click, cut method. Then after I get done with the spreadsheets, I got to do Word documents. I got to print out documents. That'll be probably Saturday, maybe Sunday. Just a little light work. Which doesn't matter to me because, you know, it's my catch-up time. Like I said, if they message me, I'm just going to say, you know what? I stayed quiet because the sheriff doesn't want to listen to me, so. That tells you right then and there, I'm doing the right thing. Besides that, Cactus sister, she already did the right thing, but I think it blew up in her face. Just like everything that we've tried, to protect people, it's blown up in her face. So, what's the point of worrying about it, All right, so tomorrow is putting it on paper, totaling them up, section by section, opening the files up, doing 2 columns, and then putting them in the computer, totaling them up, and then using the total calculator program to total up once more. And then after that, it's purely Word documents, just pure documents, So that's something I thought I would share with you. There you go. So, you know how it is. So, please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions. Hit the subscribe buttons. Hold some fun even for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your service dogs, your service bunnies. Just keep the comments nice as always. Ask. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you in everything you do.